I don't go. She got her own life and I got my own life. Literally. When do you guys, y'all barely see me and my sister posting content. Why? Because I do my own shit and she does her own shit. I make my own money. I don't follow.
When I tell you these ain't shit, please believe me. They gon' fuck on anything. These girls way too easy. Good for nothing, low down dirty dog. I'm convinced. Next time you see your mama, tell her how she raised the going out. Side, cause it's hot out. You was playing games. You on timeout. But I'm fine. Trying to find. I've been cuffed up too long. Let me remind.
All the celebrities they already had a crush on are already like.
Oh, please!
Oh!
Who would you let you roar right now?
Oh my God.
Yes, you let him roar.
Huh?
Kendrick Lamar. Come on, right?
I
Could cheat on somebody and still be in love.
For sure. Like when I did do that, like I was in a different space. I was young. I had just got married. I'm getting a lot of money. Really was communication. I was on different, like I was on lean.
How many songs does Cardi and Offset really have recorded?
like 5.
5.
Mhm.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
That's enough for like a project.
Yeah.
That's enough for a project.
I do want to do like more songs with him. I do want to like explore.
It started with a whisper, a moment of unease captured during a live stream that wasn't even meant to go viral. Hennessy Carolina, Cardi B's sister, had gone live for what seemed like an innocent chat with fans. But about 10 minutes in, her tone shifted. Her eyes darted sideways. She muttered something, barely audible, about people who pretend for the camera while sneaking around in each other's beds. Within hours, that clip had been clipped, looped, and reposted across every social media platform. Nobody said any names, but the internet didn't need names. Fans connected the dots quickly, and rumors began circulating like wildfire. Cardi B had walked in on Offset in bed with her own sister, Hennessy. It sounded too wild to be true, but the reactions that followed only added fuel to the fire. Cardi unfollowed both Offset and Hennessy on Instagram within 24 hours. That alone would have been suspicious. But then, she posted a cryptic message to her story. Loyalty isn't loud, but betrayal always echoes. And that was it. No names, no context, just silence and digital chaos. Overnight, gossip blogs spun into overdrive. Old interviews were resurfaced, moments that once seemed harmless now reanalyzed with suspicion. In a 2021 red carpet moment, Offset had complimented Hennessy a little too much, according to New Eyes. Cardi had smiled then, but it looked forced now. Body language experts chimed in, dissecting every glance, every posture. A particularly heated Reddit thread laid out a timeline. Hennessy and Offset were both present at a party Cardi didn't attend due to work obligations. Photos were uploaded of them sitting too close. Fans zoomed in. The lighting was terrible, but suspicions grew. Then came the emotional storm. Cardi B went live herself. She didn't address the rumor directly. She didn't have to. Her face was puffy. Her voice trembled. "You give everything to people. Everything," she said at one point. "And they act like you're nothing. Like you never fed them, never stood by them. And then you look up and realize they've been smiling in your face and lying in your bed." No names. Still, the implications were thick enough to cut with a knife. A wave of support followed from fans, but there were also skeptics. Some called it a PR stunt. Others swore they'd seen it coming. Theories exploded. Was this the final crack in Cardi and Offset's already fragile marriage? Had Hennessy been jealous of her sister all along? Was there a deeper resentment boiling under years of loyalty, now erupting in betrayal? Social media platforms became digital war zones. Their Team Cardi and the Team Offset hashtags trended. Hennessy stayed silent. She posted a selfie days later. No caption, no explanation. But fans noticed. She wasn't wearing the chain Cardi had gifted her last Christmas. In fact, she wasn't wearing any of the lavish pieces Cardi had bought her in recent years. Some interpreted this as defiance. Others thought it was guilt. The rumor deepened when an unnamed source came forward to a gossip site claiming to be close to the family. According to them, Cardi had returned home early from a studio session one night, intending to surprise Offset. Instead, she found him in their guest room, with Hennessy. The story was graphic. Allegedly, Cardi screamed. Hennessy ran out crying. Offset tried to explain it was a misunderstanding that he had been drinking, that nothing happened. but the damage was done. Cardi packed a bag and left with her daughter. Though the source remained anonymous, the story took on a life of its own. Fan fiction, dramatic reenactments, TikTok creators lip-syncing imagined confrontations between the trio. Edits of Cardi's past performances were overlaid with captions about betrayal and heartbreak. One popular theory suggested that Cardi and Offset had been on the verge of divorce anyway, and this was simply the final blow. Another rumor suggested Hennessy and Offset had been secretly involved for months, ever since a family vacation when they were caught on camera whispering and laughing in the background of someone's Instagram story. Meanwhile, Cardi's demeanor shifted in public appearances. She looked colder, less engaged. Paparazzi photos showed her avoiding questions, flanked by security. She stopped wearing her wedding ring. In one performance, she changed the lyrics of a love song to say, "I don't trust nobody, not even blood." Still, no one involved spoke up to confirm or deny the allegations, which, in the eyes of the public, became its own kind of confession. Offset's next Instagram story was a photo of him in prayer, captioned, "Only God knows the truth." That only fanned the flames. Fans dissected his every move. One day he followed Hennessy back. The next, he unfollowed her again. Cardi's posts became more cryptic, more emotionally raw. "Sometimes the deepest cuts come from the ones you'd bleed for," she wrote. Fans began reaching out to other family members, desperate for clarity. Cardi's mother ignored DMS, friends close to the trio refused interviews. But silence only deepened the narrative. Then came a twist no one saw coming, a leaked voice note, allegedly from Hennessy, in which she cried and begged someone to forgive her. The audio quality was poor. The voice was never confirmed, but it was enough. To some, it was closure. To others, more manipulation. Meanwhile, Offset's solo career faltered, brand deals wavered. Cardi started teasing new music. Raw, aggressive, painful. Fans speculated a diss track was coming. Lyrics previewed at a club included the line, "How you let the devil in wearing my bloodline skin." By this point, public opinion was divided but tired. Some said the whole thing was a misunderstanding. Others believed it fully. Some just wanted new music. But for many, the damage was done. The image of Cardi as a fiercely loyal sister and passionate wife had been cracked. And whether it was real or not, the betrayal felt real enough to sting. No one knows the full truth. Maybe no one ever will. Maybe it was nothing more than a whisper turned tidal wave. Or maybe the truth is worse than what the public even suspects. But in the end, the silence from those involved has become its own kind of statement. This is the age of viral heartbreak, where rumors run deeper than facts and emotions outweigh evidence. And in this saga, whether rooted in fact or fable, Cardi, Offset, and Hennessy have become players in a story larger than life. One that fans will remember, debate, and reconstruct for years to come. Weeks turned into months, and still the silence persisted. Cardi never confirmed or denied the rumor. Offset said nothing more. Hennessy remained a ghost on social media. But the aftermath was visible, like emotional debris left behind after a public explosion. Cardi's fanbase remained fiercely protective, but even they began to shift their focus. What began as shock and rage evolved into quiet sorrow. They weren't just angry at the possibility of betrayal, they were mourning the breakdown of what had once looked like an unshakable bond between sisters, between lovers, between family. At one point, Cardi posted a short video of her daughter dancing around their living room, laughing, full of joy. No words, no commentary, just the sound of a child who didn't know that the world around her had changed. It hit people hard. It reminded them that behind the gossip, behind the speculation, real people were hurting. Meanwhile, blogs and gossip channels slowly moved on. New scandals emerged, new celebrities trended. But for those who had been emotionally invested in Cardi's story, the betrayal lingered like a bruise. Tender, unhealed. Offset attempted to revive his public image, making appearances and dropping a surprise single. But it didn't land. The comments were flooded with snake emojis and lines like, "How's the family?" and "Still sleeping with sisters." Whether the rumor was true or not, the internet had made up its mind. Hennessy eventually returned to social media, posting a calm video of herself meditating on a beach. She said nothing, just let the waves and wind do the talking. Some saw it as healing, others saw it as defiance. But the most unexpected twist came when Cardi dropped her next album. The lead track opened with a single line. The worst pain ain't heartbreak, it's betrayal wrapped in a blood bond. The song didn't name names, but it didn't need to. Every lyric felt like an open wound stitched into rhythm. The album became a massive success, not just musically, but emotionally. Fans felt seen, heard, understood. Cardi wasn't just telling her story, she was telling theirs. Stories of trust broken, families divided, wounds that time might not heal. In the end, the scandal became less about who did what, and more about the emotional truth underneath it all. The grief, the betrayal, the collapse of what once seemed safe. Whether the rumor was real or just a figment of digital hysteria didn't matter anymore. The silence from Cardi, Offset, and Hennessy became symbolic. In a world obsessed with overexposure, maybe silence was the final power move, the final word. Sometimes the loudest truths aren't spoken, they're felt.